Are you stuck in the same old routine at work? Do you find yourself hitting a creative wall, unable to see beyond your current perspective? It's time to break free and unlock the power of fresh perspectives. David Gouthro here, and I'm here today with Adera Angelucci. And the reason for this is, I recently read Adera's book, and it was about free spirit. I thought, everyone is so darn intense these days. Is there room for free spirit? And my experience of you, Adera, is you are a free spirit. And I just want to capture some of what that means to you and how you've come to that as something that you felt strongly enough about to write about. First of all, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I was thinking about this today because it's almost like a hippie mindset or something. You would think when you think free spirit, right? You think someone who just lives their life and gets carefree and just is who they want to be, right? And the fear is that we don't have space for that in our life. We have actual responsibilities and work that has to get done. And we're serious about it, But what if there was room to have a bit of play? And I mean, this is why I love your work so much, David. It's because you're all about seeing not necessarily the brighter side, but different ways of looking at something so that we don't get bogged down in the stress of our day-to-day, responsibilities and life.
So, what that makes me think about, just playing with words, talk about free spirit. If the objective is to free your spirit, what's the opposite of that? Like, what is a possible case you could make why you should keep your spirit bottled up? Mm-hmm. Like, how does that provide any value to you or anybody else? And you better not have a good answer to that question.
Well, the bottled up piece, I think, has to do with feeling like you want to belong or things that might have been said to you when you were growing up. For women particularly, they were told to be seen, not heard. Then there's, societal pressure, especially if you're in certain cultures of how you need to present yourself or how people expect you, the expectation of you, especially even growing up in school and things like that. So I think it's all these little pieces that start to hammer down at your spirit. And then all of a sudden it is bottled and you don't even think twice about it.
So let me ask you a question then, because as I read your book and through some of your life experiences, it was very obvious that you were a free spirit in a very positive way. And, I wonder how that shows up today for you. Because now, you're a business person, you're a spouse, you're a mother of a young child who's super cute, by the way. How does a free spirit manifest itself now that you are, and don't take this the wrong way, it's a really positive thing, now that you're grown up? What does free spirit look like for you?
Now that you're not in your 20s anymore, just living your best life. Yeah. Well, it was funny. I was out for lunch with a girlfriend the other day, and she does quite well financially, and she is so caged and bottled, and she doesn't even know what it would be like to live my lifestyle and have the things that I'm able to do, like take off to Maui in a heartbeat, or decide not to maybe work in a certain day or go do something, right? And she doesn't have that flexibility. And she was saying, she's lost a lot of people in her life, and at the end of the day, I know we really focus a lot on our finances, but she said, really, I'm learning that it's my lifestyle that I really crave, right? And so I've kept that top of mind and obviously throughout my life. And I try to bring that in through my work. I want to have joy in what I do every day and the service and the way that my gift shows up in the world and how I'm able to help others. I want to make sure that feels really fulfilling for me. So that's one way I kind of keep my spirit alive. And then in my relationship as well, we do a lot of not weird things together, but I make Ryan do Kundalini yoga I don't make him. I found a partner who is open to experiencing things that he's never done before, right? Which is, I think, something that is super important to experience for yourself, is to do things you've never done before to help open up your spirit. And like you do improv, Dave, like that is incredible. So I try to run those kinds of games with my one kid, and with my friends. Like anytime I'm out or hosting something or, I present quite a bit, especially like little gatherings and things. I always try to bring something new to the table that's going to get people to not wake up per se, but just go, oh, we're not doing the usual thing here. Like we're going to try something new. Right. I think that's what really gets your spirit talking.
So you used the phrase a little bit earlier about the gifts that you have that you bring to other people. So what are those gifts and how do you use those gifts to help people free their spirits?
Well, I think because I maybe was born a free spirit. I think we all are technically. And then we're all told to like, do what we're supposed to do. But I didn't listen to that. I was a very, I got in a lot of trouble as a kid, as you saw in my book. So I wasn't complying. And I think that makes me an expert in being a free spirit. So I think that I bring that out in people. I am able to sort of see what it is that they really want or who they really want to be in the world. And I almost like feed off it a little. And then I start entertaining ideas for them that they maybe haven't thought of before. And then I'm there to support them and cheerlead them on and in expressing themselves in a way that feels really right to them, but they weren't supported in before, possibly, or no one saw that in them before.
So this may be diving in too deep and going down a rat hole, but
we got 5 minutes. We could do it.
I've got the rest of my life. One of the things that I find that really gets in the way of people doing anything really interesting is fear of failure or fear of the consequences of being judged.
Yeah.
So how do you help people get over that little barrier where, that goes way far to the back of the mind and it's not that shutting them down in the present?
Wow. So fail, I have my own little acronym for fail. It's first attempt isn't landing, and then follow-up attempt isn't landing. So it's just not landing, right? So try again. Then in regards to judgment, I don't know what people think of me. You know how much time, just even thinking about what people think of me I don't have any time for that really, actually. But if I did, most people I find that were thinking about themselves and are thinking about their own garbage. Like, honestly, like all day, every day, we're thinking of our own stuff that we're trying to work through or things we need to deal with or whatever. So even if somebody was to judge me in a moment and be like, oh, she's just too much for me, or like, I'm not resonating with her or whatever, after that, they've gone on with their day. So am I going to not allow myself the joy of expression in a moment because of one person that I don't even know, not liking me? Or even if it is somebody, like I had a talk in 2018 that I did around coming out of my spiritual closet. So I was really worried about talking in this way and talking about spirit because I didn't want people to think I was too quote unquote woo woo. Because I was worried I was going to lose clients and my friends weren't going to get me, and it's just too far out. It's too much of the spiritual, things we can't see and energy and these kinds of things. And I thought I was having panic attacks about it. And then I just decided to embrace it. I mean, it was a full day of, breaking down and really walking into the light, so to speak, and being like, I'm leaving my old self behind. I am following my spirit, and I'm going to talk this way. I'm coming out of my spiritual closet. And ever since I've done that, the people I thought were going to fall away did. And I've been okay. I've been embraced with new folks that are more in alignment with what I'm doing. And it feels really good. And they fall away, but whether in judgment or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, I can still talk to them. I'm not so far gone that they're like, oh, we can't even talk to her. I'm still me. But we just don't have the same interests anymore or the same path, which is cool. I think it takes courage to do that.
So I'm not sure if this makes sense, and it may not even be true, but I have a hunch that more often than not, when you think people are judging you, or when I think people are judging me, they're actually judging themselves because they wish they could be more like you, but they're not. And they project that on you, because I think when people see someone else being free, my sense is a lot of people wish they could be more free. They're not all bottled up like some of the people you talked about previously. And maybe that's just a mind thing, that trick that I tell myself is that as soon as I start to be thinking, oh, How are they going to judge me? What are the consequences going to be? I start thinking that, or telling myself that they're not actually judging me, they're judging themselves. And that makes it so much easier for me to do and whatever I'm doing and be whatever I be. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I think so. I'm liking that a lot. I'm liking that as a takeaway for people, because when I'm judging others, it can be that way where I'm almost really wishing that I had that or whatever. But more often than not, it's something that I'm frustrated or aggravated by, or it's something that like irks me, right? And I actually, if I look at it, it's something that I do that I don't like within me, right? So maybe that's cool to look at judgment being like a complete self-learning for somebody, to be like, if that's something that they're wanting for themselves, or if it's something that they're not wanting for themselves and that they need to work through and work on. So that's a cool way to look at judgment for sure. Then there's nothing to be afraid of. It's a great gift to give somebody for self-exploration, right?
And as you said, maybe that's a good takeaway, because after each of these conversations, it's nice if someone has something they can take away and think about and actually do something with. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you very much, Adera, for this conversation. I look forward to working with you again and seeing how many hundreds of thousands of people listen to this podcast and say, wow, I want more of that, because she's great.
Yeah, that. And they'll be like, I don't care about judgment anymore. It's a good thing. That's great. I loved how we started with spirit. And really, it came down to being okay to express yourself, whether people judge or not, because it's all about their journey around that part. And you're just being true to the things that you're wanting to experience in on this one time on this planet that we think we have. So that's cool. That's groovy. Thank you, David.
Thank you. Subscribe now, because on Fresh Perspectives, every episode is an opportunity to explore new horizons and redefine what's achievable.